A very good evening once again. Thank you for joining us for the 10 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. My name is Wadulo Arnold, and without further ado, let's take a look at the headlines. In our news tonight, Nebi Diocese pilgrims still trekking to spend Saturday night in Wobolenzi. Saint Balikudembe Catholic Cornerstone under threat of eviction. Chira Crime Watch, locals want more personnel deployed for surveillance. And in sports, Olympian Ganzi Magula advises athletes ahead of Olympics. Once again, thank you for joining us. It's now time for the news in detail. Pilgrims from Nebi Diocese are spending the Saturday night at St. Joseph Catholic Church in Wobolenzi, Luero District, as they warm up for the last days of the Namugongo trek. Our reporter Robert Onyango trailed with the pilgrims and filed this report.
St. Balikudembe Market, also known as Owino Market, was named after one of
the team of 500 pilgrims which set off from Nebi Diocese on May 15, 2024 has arrived in Luero District. Having spent the Friday night at Kasana Luero Diocese in Luero, the pilgrim left for Wobolenzi on the Saturday morning.
There is nobody who could come all the way from Nebi to here to move without any intention. We all have our intention.
For myself, I also have my own particular intentions as a father. I need some favor from God through the intercession of Martyrs of Uganda. The first time Nebi animated was 2007. I was 8 in senior 3 and I could not walk. I promised myself when that time comes, I must walk.
Eric Mugumbaro and David are among the people with disabilities trekking to Namugongo.
We have not yet faced mass challenges, but you know, in a journey like this, challenges are always there, but though not much. Because as you can see, many of you have been following in the social media, on TV. You have seen the zeal the pilgrims are having. Yeah, they are having the energy. Their target is reaching Namugongo, and they are being inspired by what they are praying for.
The journey is well going, nothing much bad, but I have one problem with my bike, which I've already called one of my friends. Is now there in Kawempe. When we reach there, he's going to repair it from there.
After the prayer, I want to go back to Pakwach when I have already changed, not like the one I have come, because the prayer is the one taking me there.
Solomon Mungoromo, an 11-year-old pupil in Primary 6 at Paida Glorious Primary School, is among those heading to Namugongo.
I move now 1 week.
For Solomon, who wants to be a doctor in future, is heading to Namugongo to pray for financial support to his family.
I'm working to get a person who can pay for his school fees.
The youngest, God Inspiration, says if St. Kizito Muto of 14 years could 14 could sacrifice to die for following others. Why not him? He also says he has school fees problem. The parents need money. So he thinks that by walking in faith in prayer, God may change his story.
It is only 56 kilometers left for the Nebi Diocese journey to Namugongo, and the pilgrims are expected to march to Namugongo shrines on either 29th or 30th May 2024.
I thank God really, these people, God I think already touched them ahead. They see the hand of God in helping and welcoming these pilgrims, even in those places where there are no primary schools, where the Catholic Church there is not well established, the Protestant ones come in. If you see along the road, the way Christians, even people of God are welcoming, others give water, others give banana, money, whatever they have, others greet, others just wish well. It has been very good.
We are at St. Joseph Catholic Church here in Wobulenzi, Luwero district, and this place is where the pilgrims from Nebi Catholic Diocese are going to spend the Saturday night before picking up the journey either tomorrow on Sunday or Monday this week as they make their final lap to Namugongo Martyrs shrines for this year's Martyrs Day celebrations. Robert Onyango, UBC News, here in Wobulenzi.
Thank you, Robert Onyango, for the update in Wobulenzi. Now, with 9 days left to the 3rd of June, the Uganda Martyrs Day celebration, we look back into the history of martyrdom of Joseph Mukasa Balikudembe. Saint Joseph Mukasa Balikudembe, a patron for the chiefs and politicians, was killed on November 15th, 1885, at the age of only 25, under the command of the then King of Buganda, Mwanga Mukabya II. Susan Nawonga visited the spot where martyrdom Balikudembe was killed and filed this report.
St. Balikudembe Market, also known as Owino Market, was named after one of the Catholic martyrs, St. Joseph Mukasa Balikudembe. Balikudembe was murdered alongside other Christians for refusing to renounce his faith to the then brutal ruler, Kabaka Mwanga II.
Kabaka n'agamba nti bagende bamutte. Mukasa ekyamuvamu n'agamba nti ssebo kabaka okutta kibi. Waaliwo abaamuwulira ate nga bukimanyi bulungi nnyo nti kabaka taddibwamu.
In the middle of this market is the foundation of Joseph Balikudembe, where he was believed to have been beheaded from. His body burnt to ashes on a Sunday of November 15th, 1885.
Tibali bagamba bugambe nti kabaka oyo Mukasa yeegasse na bali okumalawo obwakabaka bwo. Bwe kityo kabaka n'agamba bagende bamutte oba ayagala kumalawo obwakabaka bwange. Ogenda kabaka ogenda okufuluma nti Mukasa abadde akola ebintu ebirungi, abasomi balina eddembe okusoma nga bwe baagala, nga Mukasa bamaze okumuggyako omutwe.
Through the years, the center has flourished to the legacy of St. Balikudembe martyrdom and now hosts several daily prayer services.
Saba ekintu kyonna ky'osaba toyinza butakifuna. Era kikuwa endowooza nti edda baatugambanga nti buli omu omulimu gwe yali akolera agukolera buli w'okimusaba achikuwa.
In commemoration of the martyr, believers convene for the 9 days novena prayer every month of May, prayer to 3rd June, Martyrs Day celebration. At the service led by Father Cosmos Segawa, believers were challenged to reflect on their actions while emulating acts of the martyrs.
Eno gy'olimu naawe weetondera omukama ogamba ayi mukama ekyo kye nakola kyaki kibi tekisanyusa naye nze nkusaba nange wadde nakikola naye nsaasira onzigulirewo omukisa gwange guleme kuziyizibwa ntuuke ku ekyo kyenkola ki kyenduubulira. Abatuukirivu abajulizi aba Uganda naffe baatukulirawo emikisa gyaffe nga bayiwa omusaayi.
The center, attached to Mengo Chisenyi, became a landmark, providing a sacred space for worship, reflection, and community engagement.
Wenzijamba banzize kulamaga awaafira abajirizi era tufunawo ebyamagero bingi bwe tubasaba tuddibwamu musaala zaffe.
At this same place is where Athanasius Bazeketa was killed on May 1886 at the age of 20, also on the orders of Kabaka Mwanga. Athanasius was one of the king's trustworthy, faithful, and obedient servants in charge of the king's ceremonial robes, ornaments, treasury, and the ivory. He joined Catholicism and became a devoted catechumen, something that led to his death. He is the patron of those in charge of finance, treasury, and banks. Nonetheless, with its significance, the site of martyrdom is now under threat of eviction by unknown persons claiming to be landlords.
Ye twafuna obuzibu obw'omukulembeze gwe bayita Saadi oyo yeeyita chairman w'ekitundu kino. Sebo buli kantu konna ke tukola atulemesezza. Omwala twabadde tusibye ebyuma yaleese bakifeesi ne bajja ne babijjako.
Joseph Mukasabali Kudembe was sanctified by Pope Benedict XV in 1920, together with the 21 fellow martyrs. They were then proclaimed canonized saints by Pope John Paul VI in 1964. Susan Naung and Andrew Sebira reporting for UBC TV.
The Munyonyo Martyrs Shrine in Kampala is believed to be the starting point for the journey of Uganda martyrs towards their end. It is said to have been the judgment area by the Kabaka Mwanga before they were trekked to Namugongo Martyrs Shrine for execution. The exact point at which the Kabaka sat to hear and judge the cases is a special tree that has existed since 1886, a history still living. Henry Okrut with a report.
It is cool breeze here at Munyonyo Catholic Martyrs Shrine in Kampala. This is attributed to the area vegetation that has grown both naturally and artificially. Among the natural features is this muafu tree. It is believed to be over 140 years old.
So Kampala capital city confirmed that this is the oldest tree in Kampala.
Locally known as Empafu, it is a living witness to the history of the Uganda martyrs. This is so, especially in 1886, when they met their unfortunate death.
This tree was here in 1886 when the martyrs were sentenced to death, and it is still here. From this tree, it's believed that it's where the journey of Uganda martyrs started from. From this very location, they walked from here to Namugongo. This tree is so special that it's found in a holy place and it produces incense, and that it's the living witness that we still have, which witnessed the execution or the sentencing of the Christians, the current Uganda martyrs, to death by King Mwanga.
Its existence is not so known. This makes pilgrims excited whenever they learn of it. Management has had to protect it from pilgrims cutting its pieces.
This tree produces incense, so we gazetted it to stop pilgrims from cutting it. Whenever I would be having pilgrims, they would want to cut the tree and take pieces of it since it is found in the holy place and it produces incense. So we gazetted it to protect them, to protect the tree from the pilgrims from cutting it so that it can live a little bit longer.
It is surrounded by other tree species, both natural and artificial, including eucalyptus, palm trees, mangoes, and sausage trees. Ironically, this muafu tree is the only species here. This makes it special.
This tree is not well known. People who come to visit the site, when they are told about the tree, it's when they find it amazing and they want to know more about its history. Nor it no longer bears the seeds or the fruits, so people are unable to take the species of it, like from here, to go and plant them.
The bravery and devotion of the Uganda martyrs is what makes this tree special. Their journey to martyrdom is one often described as the blood of martyrs, being the seed of Christians.
So we have several species of trees in this place. Given that people who visit this place, important people, each person plants a tree.
It is from this journey that the Uganda Martyrs are annually celebrated worldwide every 3rd of June. The journey began from here in Munyonyo, and this Muafu tree, old as it is, remains part of the journey. Henry Okrut, UBC.
The National Unity Platform NUP President Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu has succumbed to police directives to suspend his countrywide mobilization tours until Monday next week. Kyagulanyi made this acceptance speech at the party headquarters in Makerere, Kavule.
The National Unity Party President Robert Kyagulanyi was supposed to continue with his nationwide tour as he announced yesterday. With his team, they were meant to be in Palisa district, but were blocked at Sezibwa Bridge and ordered to return to Kampala. The attempts by the leader of opposition, Munyonyo, to speak to police on duty yielded negative results.
Now you block the other side, you block here too. What do you want? Madam Sikawa. Sikawa. You told us to reverse and go.
Yes, I'm guaranteeing your security ahead. I'll let you go.
What do you mean guaranteeing our security?
We are trying to get for security ahead.
What does that mean? But we are secure. We came secure. We came secure. I don't know. You're doing very confusing things, eh? You stopped us from going ahead. You told us to reverse and go. We have reversed.
The team was left with no option but to return to Kampala and continued waving at their supporters at some point, compelling police to throw tear gas canisters to disperse the crowds.
I don't even have any stone. We are fighting for you, my friends. We want better salaries for you.
Speaking at their party at Makerere, Kavule, Robert Kyagulanyi told the press that police response to their letter indicated that their mobilization rallies were contravening police orders, which he described as unfair.
To liaise with security people, the RPCs, DPCs, and DSOs. We did that. However, in the same letter, there were some ridiculous demands. Among them were that we don't hold public rallies and processions. But as you all know, other groups, other political parties, pressure groups, and political actors are having public rallies. We don't understand, what we don't agree with are the double standards. They are stopping us from having public rallies and processions. Other actors are having public rallies and processions. They, in this letter, asked us to have our activities in town halls.
However, Kyagulanyi accepted police summons on Tuesday, in which they are expected to agree on certain issues. If Tuesday meeting yields positive results, Kyagulanyi will hold a political rally in Mukono district that very day.
We've been asked to meet them on Monday to discuss this. So we've sat in a meeting with my fellow leaders, and we've agreed that on Monday a group of our leaders will go to the police headquarters and engage the police and tell them the truth that we are telling you now, that they are operating on double standards. They are reduced to playing politics, and that is embarrassing them. They are spoiling the name of the police force, and the double standards should stop.
The State Minister for Works, Musa Echweru, has apologized on behalf of the Ministry of Works and Transport for the shoddy works done on the section of Moroto-Soroti Highway, which has seen the stretch between Nadunget junctions to Moroto town breaking in a short time. Echweru pledged ministerial commitment to repair the broken down section soon. The 197 kilometers road from Soroti to Moroto was commissioned in November 2020 by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
170 kilometers Soroti-Moroto Road was handed over to government in November 2020. It was constructed and funded by Ugandan government money at a cost of 646 billion shillings. It was constructed by two contractors, China Communication Construction Company Limited (CCC), which worked on the 100 kilometers from Soroti to Akisim in Napak district, and the construction of the 50.3 kilometers from Akisim to Moroto was worked on by China Railways Engineering Group. Today, the road section between Nadunget Junction to Moroto town has been broken down. The State Minister for Works, Musa Echweru, apologized for the shoddy work at the section of the road.
My apology on behalf of the ministry and on behalf of my agency, UNRWA, for the poor workmanship that has been reflected from Nadunget to Moroto. The road has failed before it even meets a tenth of what we expected of it. I apologize. And I am going to direct that work be done immediately there. And what should be done, and Engineer-in-Chief, when we go back, we are going to summon this board of UNRWA and then direct them. I don't want that to happen because very part must be fixed as a matter of urgency.
He refutes allegations that the breakdown stretch of the road was caused by heavy trucks, but pledged government commitment to repair the road soon.
By just looking at it, even as a layman, you can see that I will show you work. Even as a layman, they are blaming heavy trucks, that heavy trucks have been plying the route. But heavy trucks have been plying the entire width and length of the road. How come this particular area is that bad? So common sense tells me there was a bit of problem in terms of quality. So I have.
The Permanent Secretary Office of the Prime Minister, Danstan Balava, has urged health workers to serve their patients with humility and kindness. The Permanent Secretary Balava says he has observed that some health workers serve patients with gloomy moods and ask for payment instead of saving lives first. Balava made the remarks at the graduation held at Ernest Cook Ultrasound Research and Education Institute in Mengo, Kampala, as Philip Aguta reports.
And admit you into the Institute's convocation.
Government, we ask ourselves why many of our health workers, when they are at work, they are very gloomy. And yet government pays very well our health workers. But we have also said, when you are in a government health center hospital with that gloomy face, you also go and work in the private sector. But somebody who found you in the hospital may see a different person in the private sector. There you put on a smile, you say you want to come patient, but in the government, what do you want? What is your name? What is it? We want to ask you, those of you, please continue with that professionalism and avoid things that professionals are not supposed to do. You can't leave a patient because that patient has not given you money. Because that is not professional. That is done by we who may not even be knowing what human life is all about.
The introduction of innovative programs. We also aim to produce graduates who will serve and catalyze for positive change in the healthcare delivery and contribution to the development of our continent.
I feel so happy for having graduated in Masters of Diagnostic Ultrasound at Ekure here. Of course, it has not been an easy journey. As you know, ups and downs. We started long time ago, but at least at the end, God has enabled us to make it.
Today I've gotten a master's degree of science in diagnostic ultrasound. I'm very excited. I can become where the COVID students. We started around a very difficult time when we had the COVID epidemic, but alhamdulillah, we thank God that today we have really successfully made it.
Say you can never be the one, but God say, make I tell you, say.
In an effort to enhance educational strategies and foster professional development, the three Nalia schools, Nalia Boyogerere, Nalia Namugongo and Mukono, have held a joint scheming and setters workshop. Now, this event was hosted by the Nalia Boyogerere with a central theme focusing on branding ourselves as teachers. Details in this report.
We are learning a lot of things.
The chairperson board of directors for discipline, Daniel Ndaga, emphasized the importance of teachers' branding not only to remain relevant in an ever-evolving society, but also to enhance their personal and professional identities.
We must benchmark together. We are family members who must push in the same direction.
Ndaga highlighted the need for educators to venture into diverse areas for personal growth, advocating for a holistic approach to career development that extends beyond the classroom.
Ladies and gentlemen, we must draw strategies together. When you come together, you bring your strength, I bring mine, and then we energize and we move in the same direction.
The head teacher of Nalia Boyogerere encouraged teachers to demonstrate dedication and commitment to their roles.
But many of us are keeping so many soft copies without reading them. When we send you out to workshops, don't dodge. From that workshop, you can become a consultant.
Teachers from the three Nalia schools engaged in collaborative activities and discussions aimed at refining their teaching methodologies and exploring innovative educational practices. Benon Mokwaya, Sudat Kaye, UBC.
To the next class because the other subjects are okay, but yours is not. That means
Different stakeholders in the fight against TB revealed that the country still needs to put more emphasis on curbing TB due to the high prevalence rates in Uganda. Now, this was during the stakeholders' engagement held in Entebbe to discuss and reflect on how far Uganda has gone in achieving the World Health Organization's targets in the fight against TB. Details in this report.
Yes, Uganda still have around 90,000 people coming down with the TB every year, and that's a huge number. And the TB is known to kill about 30 Ugandans every day, another big number still. So if you are to fight that kind of disease, you need a lot of efforts, you need a lot of engagement, you need a lot of commitment. We need to have resources, including not only money, but brain, the right policies, the right engagements, the right everything, diagnostics and so on, if you are to fight this virus. So I call upon whoever is now listening, don't think you are away from TB. First, you are vulnerable. Anybody can get the disease. So you should first guard yourself against getting TB. But two, you can also do something. Apart from guarding yourself and other people from getting TB, you can still do a lot in fighting, through educating people, through providing nutrition, through making the right decisions about policies and so on.
We want everybody to be involved in this fight against tuberculosis. We don't want to leave it only to the health care workers, because TB is not just a disease, but it affects people differently, economically, socially, and the drivers of TB are beyond just medical. That's why I want to involve everybody. We've noted, and for example, in this meeting, that treatment, nutrition support is extremely important. And we've even prioritized to make sure that we engage the Prime Minister's office, and we are going to do that to make sure that the people in Karamoja are prioritized to make sure that the nutrition is taken care of, because it's a key factor. When somebody is really on treatment for the TB, it requires good nutrition.
I know there are districts where they give financial literacy. How are we going to support our TB-affected households to benefit from those social protection schemes as we pray and we fight for the policies plus the health insurance?
Revisiting the HIV workplace policy to integrate TB in the
TB in the HIV work.
The Uganda Retirement Benefits Regulatory Authority has extended 40 million shillings as grant to aid the construction and completion of Rega Community Health Center located in Bubanjo Sub-County, Chibale District. The Acting Chief Executive Officer, Rita Faith Nansasi Waswa, says that this is part of the institution's corporate social responsibility. The chairperson of the body, Julius Bigirwa Junjurwa, cautioned the building community and all concerned parties on accountability, urging them to use the grant well to improve the health standards for the locals in the area.
Facility was initially constructed in 2021, but it was not completed. So this additional contribution is mainly aimed towards ensuring that this structure is completed, and we request the community leadership, the LC chairperson and your team, to make sure that these funds, once provided, are utilized for the completion of this health facility. We would love to come and see a function being officiated by our chairman and the minister to open this health facility.
And say, I have given you 20 million. I should see 20 millions. But at least something nearer 20 million. But if I go in my own assessment and they tell the residents of Rega that here we put 20 millions, people who know how to build, they will even tell you, but are you sure this is 20 million? Somehow you will begin counting. One iron sheet is 28. Then a brick is 100. So even the local people themselves will begin to account. Say, but are we really having 20 millions here? So I am very sure this aspect of value for money is very, very important. So that even when someone, a layman, any ordinary citizen, if he is told that here is 20 million shillings, should be able to appreciate that that money is there.
They are so much committed with the community and the building committee. It is going to last not more than a month. Those who have some money, they go to Kiegegwa or they go to Kibale Health Center, whereby it is over 7 miles, not kilometers, 7 miles. Most of the people are dying on the way. Even yesterday, a mother died on the way, on her way going to Kibale Health Center, on a motorcycle.
The Nigerian Acting High Commissioner to Uganda, Fehintole Adebowale, has reassured the support of the Nigerian government to the education sector of Uganda, while handing over 11 professional Nigerian volunteers to the Education Ministry of Uganda. Adebowale says that Nigeria supports collective development for Africa.
One of the Nigeria's foreign policies to ensure collective development of the African countries. This is being implemented through the Directorate of Technical Aid Corps by providing volunteer professionals to teach in different universities.
They have gone through rigorous selection process from the best of our ivory tower in Nigeria in terms of their background, the continuous training that the Nigerian government has given to them. You know that in most of the ivory towers, what they do is research and continuous research. And this program obviously has given them that horizon to be able to further research.
The aid intends to impact on the sustainable socio-economic development of recipient countries by providing human skilled professional resources.
And the beauty of it, Nigerians would like to give, because we believe when others prosper, Nigeria will prosper too. And as such, our leaders, ever since our independence in 1960, have deemed it fit to always give back to the rest of the world, and particularly the African race. So that's why I said education is the key to success anywhere. And if you have it, you liberate others. by sharing.
The criteria of deployment depend on the demands of recipient countries, where African countries are encouraged to apply for this aid.
There are many areas of specialization that TAC and Nigeria on one hand will partner with Uganda on the other hand, like areas of medical practitioners, nurses and doctors. There are also which are ready to come to Uganda and also render their selfless services. There are engineers, maybe in the area of exploration, in the area of oil.
These 11 professional volunteers have been received by the Director in charge of higher education at the Ministry of Education and Sports, Dr. Jenny Gao, and comment on the significant relationship between Uganda and Nigeria. They will offer services at Islamic University in Uganda.
You know, one of the challenges that we have in our universities is staffing levels. They are generally low. And so when we have an opportunity like this, I'm so excited to know that we can have as many as these people come at one point or the other and join the university and support the people. My one appeal would be to spread this out, because I think it is not known.
The Nigerian government is responsible to pay salaries to these professionals, and the recipient country is responsible for payment of modest accommodation, utilities, transport, and free medical care. Abdul Nasser Lowama for UBC.
Uganda has been fundamental in establishing peace and stability in the Great Lakes region through interventions of the Uganda People's Defense Forces Army. In this peacekeeping story, our reporter Haruna Muntesasira analyzes the critical role Uganda People's Defense Forces, UPDF, played in establishing peace and security in the Rwenzori sub-region and along the eastern border with the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Rwenzori sub-region in Uganda is an area prone to armed conflict with a long history of brutal ADF rebellion. The insecurity along Uganda's western border, particularly in Rwenzori sub-region area, remain the main focus for Uganda People's Defense Forces and the joint security teams. This is due to persistent threat posed by Allied Democratic Forces ADF rebels. Allied Democratic Forces ADF rebel group has been committing terror attacks on innocent civilians in Rwenzori sub-region and the borderline between Uganda and Democratic Republic of Congo. The ADF rebel group began its terrorism attacks around 1996, declared allegiance to Islamic State in 2017 and began terrorism activities.
Yes, we had ADF from 1996 when they launched an attack in Semliki Valley. They were almost annihilated. About 17 or so survived and ran back to Congo.
The first wave of the down attacks on Uganda's soil was on Wednesday 13th November 1996, where they overran Mponde custom border point. 2 years later, in 1998, ADF raided Kichwamba Technical College in Kabarore district, killing 80 students.
He did get finances from international terrorist organizations, and so this gave life again to the ADF. Terrorism simply changes form. You may defeat the terrorists here. Once they have space for recruitment, then they rejuvenate.
On the night of Friday, 16th June 2023, ADF attacked Rubiria Senior Secondary School in Nyabuganda Parish, Karambi Sub-County in Kasese District, and killed 37 students, abducted 6, and injured 8 students. Security teams headed by 301 Brigade under the command of Colonel Jet Tuliabe pursued rebels in the jungles to rescue the abducted students.
The recent attack on our innocent children in one of our schools in Pondwe, Bwera, the UPDF together with the FRDC have put a lot of emphasis on trying to follow those thugs. We have killed a lot of them. We have recovered so many children, women and men.
over 2 decades, UPDF has been conducting operations in Rwenzori sub-region, battling the ADF until the initiation of Operation Suja in 2021.
Uganda and Congo, especially within the frontiers, are citizenry that share the same ethnicity. You'll find that the Bakonzo from the Rwenzoris are related to the Nandi, who are on the side of the Rwenzoris on the DRC. And these are one people. Once any situation of ADF or any rebel attack manifests itself into these communities, then it affects the opposite community too.
On 16th November 2021, 3 suicide bombers detonated themselves in 2 locations in Kampala suburbs, killing at least 4 civilians and wounding more than 30 civilians.
We knew sooner they would cross over. And still you saw when they exploded bombs on Parliament Avenue and at CPS. And then the bomb maker we found in Luero. So we knew the command and the control was in DRC.
Every time there's a disturbance from the Ugandan side, it also affects the people of Congo because one, they do business together. They share relations, they share ethnicity. So it's something that we think impacts a lot on these people.
This is Mohize Olivier, 13 years, Jakiso Patrick, 12 years, and Safari Jeremy, 14 years, among those trained and indoctrinated into the ADF rebel ranks in ignorance of the consequences.
Anatufanyisha mafunzo ya kutega ambush na kupatia mtu aseme sira. Wanawaambia sema mnajifunza kutega ambush.
The war affected these young boys and girls and suffered extensive form of exploitation and abuse.
These younger people require education. These younger people require medical facilities. And at the same time, reintegration becomes a challenge because the ADF and the human trafficking is still alive and well in the country.
The Allied Democratic Forces ADF rebels crossed the border into eastern Congo after being uprooted from Kasese, Bondibujo, Ntoloko districts by Uganda People's Defense Forces Army.
Now when they were dealt with, because some were arrested, others ran away and hid in Buseruka, in the Rift Valley. It's after they had gained capacity that they move out of Buseruka. We flushed them out of Buseruka. They went into DRC now fully. And then from DRC, 1996, they attacked Kasese. So it's been growing over time.
Reorganized in the jungles of eastern DRC, Allied Democratic Forces ADF rebels began counter-terror attacks on innocent civilians in Kasese, Bondibujo, Kamwenge, and in Ntoloko, utilizing the porous border point.
Adui alikuwa anatusumbua sana, tulikimbiaka tunafika Nobili, tunatoka hayo tena tunafika hapa.
Vita vikali sana, sole ya kona na tunalala ovyo kupori.
A memorandum of understanding to cooperate on intelligence sharing and fighting terrorism was signed in November 2021 by the 2 governments of Uganda and DRC to flush out ADF from their hideouts.
Between the 2 heads of state, President Yoweri Museveni and President Tshisekedi Felix, which happened way back in 2021. And once the memorandum of understanding, which also included the joint operation with other requirements of military activities between the 2 countries, the 2 militaries, eventually the MOU on a joint operation was effected and the operation began way back on the 31st of November 2021.
But it was until November 28th, 2021, following the suicide bombing in Kampala, that His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of Uganda, and his counterpart, Congolese President, His Excellency Felix Tshisekedi, authorized the armed forces to cross to Ituri and North Kivu provinces in eastern DRC to strike heavy bombardments on the rebel camps.
Rais wawili, Rais Tshisekedi, rais wetu wa DRC, na Rais Museveni wa Uganda, ambao wamekubaliana kusema watie nguvu pamoja kwa lengo la kuona namna gani wanaweza wakapigana na ADF. Na ndio maana wananchi wametutuma tuombe hizi operesheni zisonge mbele mpaka wahakikishe ya kuwa ADF ameisha katika eneo zote ambamo alikuwa akaua watu.
Cross-border operations began with airstrikes on several rebel positions in Congo's North Kivu and Ituri.
Remember, the UPDF is strictly concerned with the ADF, and that's the MOU, and that's our mandate.
Significant joint military operations by UPDF and Congolese Fadaka Army did a tremendous impact on the ADF rebels since then. According to the Terrorism Combat Center data 2021, ADF is responsible for 1,275 civilian deaths in Uganda and Eastern DRC, 3 times the death toll of 2019, and more than a 50% increase by 782 deaths in 2020. The Rwenzori sub-region remained the only ADF rebel main focus because of the porous border points with DRC, which enabled the rebels to cross into Uganda and cause mayhem. The government of Uganda is promoting a culture of peace and non-violence through civil-military cooperation for peace and conflict prevention.
Ya kwanza nasema vraiment merci sana kwanza kwa jeshi yetu UPDF na FRDC kwa kazi mbona tufanyizia, vraiment tunafurahi sana.
Presidential Initiative on Peace, Security and Development Reception Center for Allied Democratic Forces ADF returnees in Kasese district is overwhelmed by the number of returnees. The initiative started in 2022 in Rwenzori sub-region area to find a lasting solution to armed conflicts by encouraging rebels to denounce their activities in exchange for amnesty. Bridgeway Foundation and Uganda People's Defense Forces provide psychosocial healing process support to assist the healing process of these former ADF captives.
Foundation does a lot of rehabilitation for people that have been caught up in armed conflict. So their families, those have been fighters, formers, they're handed over. We work closely with the government of Uganda and Amnesty Commission, and they hand them over for us to spend a program with us of 3 months.
The Bridgeway Foundation is another foundation that really comes in as a stakeholder in terms of trying to assist, to give a hand into the efforts of the militaries, both the Congolese and the UPDF.
Once killed and rehabilitated, the victims are given financial support as capital and reunited with their families.
We save these children, these wives, the children and these ladies from the bushes. We bring them up with us, so Bridgeway comes in handy to give assistance to these children, rehabilitate them, prepare them before they go back, counsel them to get out of that old thing that has always, haunted them in the bushes.
The government reconsiders establishing a fully-fledged reception and rehabilitation center in Rwenzori sub-region area to rehabilitate the returnees before they are reunited with their families. Uganda has remained the leading peace broker in the region, projecting its power as a force willing to stabilize South Sudan, Somalia, and Sudan, despite the risks undertakings associated with. Haruna Mutesasira, UBC News.
Morning time wao. Mwami wange nangamba yesterday bamukubiddeko essimu aba MTN nga bamugamba nti awangudde ssente school fees owa Andrew. In fact tuli awo nga tukyabuusabuusa naye nzikiriza mazima nga maze kulabako ate the first nalinga ndowooza oba MTN balina ebintu byabwe bapanga nga sirabako ku neighbor wange nga bamukubidde kasimu. Twebaza abe MTN bannange okutuddizaawo bannaayo okuddiza guba mwoyo. Tweyanzege omuzadde yenna ali eyo banange ebintu bya ddala togaana kukikola kozesa MTN okusasula school fees w'omwana wo ng'onyiga *165*80# banaye bya ddala si bya kyayi.
Together we're unstoppable. We all want it. That soft yellow glow of a subdued sun in your hands. That precious polish of elegance. To hold it is one thing, but to taste it is everything else. Relish the satisfying taste of a beer, unmatched in quality, unmatched in consistency, and with 23 Global Gold Awards. A beer unmatched in gold.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. We now delve into the world of business. Exhibitors continue to converge at Speak Resort Munyonyo to celebrate the tapestry of Africa's tourism industry under the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo. The expo is showcasing the very best of Uganda's treasures. Details in this report. Crucial platform for Ugandans and those beyond its territorial boundaries to showcase the beauty and diversity of Africa's tourism offerings. It's not only promoting sustainable tourism practices, but also offers networking and collaboration within the industry.
Poate this year has been absolutely wonderful. For us, since we promote sustainability, it has been absolutely lovely to see so many organizations that focus on sustainability, and Poate has brought together a variety of players, not only from Uganda but also internationally, to come together to discuss not only travel but also sustainable travel. That's what I've really liked.
As a garden hotel, this expo has given us exposure, and it's really of a great benefit because we have come to know, interact with many hotels and tour operators and more other international tour operators.
Exhibitors here share the relevance of the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo as a testament to the continent's rich history and natural beauty.
This is our second expo as Sonic Gorilla Rafting. Definitely better than the first. People are very interested. We also noticed that many people don't know that we exist, so it's great exposure for us.
By the end of this expo, we anticipate that we are going to have a lot of traffic, I must say, and we're also looking at a high rate of conversion because we have had a very good turn-up to our booth.
During the exhibition, stakeholders revealed that Poate provides invaluable exposure for Ugandan products and services.
A lot of business because so many of them have promised that they're going to come to Kenya. Most of them have promised me that they have groups, future groups that they are conversing with, and they are going to get in touch with me. We've exchanged contacts and we will be in touch. So I am very positive that this trip to Uganda is going to bear fruits.
This is a great opportunity for us to showcase what we do for people who don't know us or even those who know us, because like you may know, we open 7 days a week and we want people every day. So this is part of visibility, marketing and sales. We're creating sales, we're creating market, we are making visibility for your work, for people to keep coming. We want our hosted buyers to know about us. What do we do? What do we offer?
The exhibition continues to be a beacon of hope for the industry.
As Bant, when I come to this, I'm expecting to get lots of DMCs because, as a person, when you're doing business, you can't do everything by yourself. So if I meet a DMC from Tanzania or for Kenya, it helps me expand. In the future, if I have clients that want to visit Kenya or that want to visit Tanzania, visit Rwanda, I can get in touch with my DMCs and help them travel safely and smoothly without having to carry myself together with the client to go to that particular country. So we have to work hand in hand. There is also hotels because tourism goes hand in hand with the hospitality industry.
Exhibitors believe that Poate is a perfect platform to highlight their commitment to conservation and responsible tourism.
We just started a very new activity in Uganda, rafting in Western Uganda in Rukunjiri.
We have had quite positive stakeholder engagements. We have had engagements with hosted buyers, and I hope that this is a platform for us to amplify our brand visibility.
As the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo draws to a close, it is evident that the spirit of collaboration and innovation has been at the forefront of this event. Government has been asked to expedite the process of introducing the National Insurance Health Scheme as a sure way to guaranteeing exclusive and inclusive access to quality health care to Ugandans. Now, this comes on the heels of numerous concerns that majority of Ugandans continue to suffer and die from curable ailments due to their vulnerability to afford quality medical services.
Uganda Martyrs Hospital Rubaga in October this year will celebrate 125 years of existence, having been started in 1899. In a rare show of gratitude to her clients and Ugandans at large, Uganda Martyrs Hospital Rubaga is rendering nearly free specialized medical services ranging from consultancy, eye and dental care, and checkups for most non-communicable diseases through what they termed a medical camp.
We wanted to bring out this hospital to the people, show it to the people that we are there, we are available, not only for the sick, but even for the healthy ones. We are marking 125 years of existence, of a service to Ugandans, of a service to the community, of being alive and still planning to get better and to serve many more people.
Louis Mwebe, a single father to an 8-month-old toddler, is one of those who turned up here at the Uganda Institute of Information, Communication and Technology in Nakawa to tap into this rare but golden opportunity.
Mwana adaina ekifa n'essenyiga abyamuletedde omusu ng'ayokya nnyo mbeera buli kaseera ndi ku puleesho beera nga bakubira essimu kino naye kati ali fine talinamu mpulira bulungi mpulira essanyu lyankulaba ng'ono musanyufu.
By design, one pays 10,000 shillings only as entrance fee, but has access to all services in regard to their individual health needs.
So the purpose of such an expo is actually to bring the specialists to the people at a much subsidized rate, because entrance is just about 10,000 Ugandan shillings. Yes, which I think it could be a stretch on some pockets, but it's also affordable, so that still someone can still get the services of various subspecialists that are available at the expo at the same cost of 10,000 shillings.
We have seen a number of patients who are having challenges with eye care now that there is an influx in red eye, in the outbreak of red eye. So there's been an influx of patients that we have seen.
With such testimonies, it's evident that majority of Ugandans are vulnerable in as far as access to quality medical services is concerned.
So our government should speed up or expedite the process of the National Insurance Health Scheme that is in pipeline to support Ugandans.
It's worth noting that Uganda Martyrs Rubaga Hospital is one of the few health facilities with an internationally accredited laboratory that carries out close to 500,000 laboratory tests annually. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
Now, at least once every year, Uganda Olympic Committee hosts learners from several schools to teach them about Olympism and how its values are all embracing in the modern world. The latest to visit were learners from Kampala Community International School.
Contrary to what many think and believe, sports, especially Olympic sports, has many values that are even necessary for their existence in the public domain. For instance, the Olympics emphasize the three key values of respect, friendship, and excellence, which, when embraced in real life, are pertinent for coexistence.
The same values we have in sports, where we need excellence on the field of play, respect your opponent, and promote friendship with your different people from different countries. Those values transcend both sport and also can go into real life.
It's the reason that at least once a year Uganda Olympic Committee hosts learners with emphasis on young ones.
Collectively, it would be good to inspire because we'd like to see more schools taking up sport, more schools supporting sporting activities, more schools putting in place facilities, because collaboration with schools is a very integral part.
This year, the beneficiaries of this project have been learners of Year 1 of Kampala Community International School, Naguru.
It inspires them with their learning. It encourages them to never give up and to be more interested in the world around them. And lots of them have left today, even if they're not going to be sports players, but they've left being inspired to do their very best and to be the top of their game and to never give up.
The learners benefited from tutorship of Olympian Ganzi Mugula, who captained the Uganda's team at the London Olympics in 2012.
Mr. Gandhi told us to work hard, never give up, and to try our best and make friends.
Some of them are saying they want to be lawyers, doctors, teachers, skaters, boxers. So they are really young, 6 years and 7 years, but it doesn't matter how young they are, as long as we start speaking to them and getting into their minds to inspire them to chase higher dreams and reach further than we have ever reached. So really my job today was to inspire the young generation who are going to be the adults for tomorrow.
And more in sports. Afro Unity Sports Foundation, a non-profit organization, together with the Ministry of Health, organized the just concluded Afro Fun Fest, a community medical and sports camp. Details in this report.
The role of sport goes beyond physical exercise and the wish to excel, and encompasses a very fundamental pillar of community mobilization. This has been evidenced during the first ever Afro Fun Festa, which is a community medical camp that uses the sport of baseball 5 as a conduit to attract masses.
Together with the Ministry of Health, we just organized Afro Fun Fest here in Butabika, where we invited 7 villages from around the area, where we have the elderly come for testing and screening of all diseases. And then the young kids, girls and boys, we had them play some baseball 5. Talent identification and talent growth is what we look at as well. We want to change lives as much as we can through impacting communities with our tool being sports. We are coming to your community anytime soon, so be ready for us when we come.
I have learned many things. I have learned how to play this new game, and this new game was so fun.
I've learned many things during this occasion. I've learned to cooperate with my friends. I've learned many things. Uniting, we have to unite.
The camp used baseball 5 as a tool to impact the youth, educating and offering health services to the community, which attracted more than 1,500 people from the neighboring communities of Kampala Road, Butabika.
This campaign has just started, and we hope to extend the campaign to Nansana next time and parts of Waise ghetto still. Why the ghetto? It's because these guys are facing a lot of challenges there. Low medical support, and their lives is mostly affected.
The medical camp tackled ailments like HIV/AIDS, syphilis, malaria, hepatitis, sickle cell, and testing of glucose levels. The next health camp is expected in about a month, but before that, the foundation is to engage in regular visits to hospitals for sanitation purposes.
Well, as you can tell, our time is fast spent, but we do thank you for being a part of the UBC News tonight. My name is Wadulo Arnold, and allow me to thank the team behind the control room. And from us, it's good night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda. Nyati Motion Pictures brings you
Tuko pamoja, Uganda, the making of a nation.
Uganda, as we see today, never had a name.
Uganda is something that was created by the British, and the story letter B from Buganda.
The battle for protecting the sovereign Uganda was lost in Dokolo.
Uganda, fortunately for us, is a confluence of all these races, the races of Africa.
Genetically, we are even.
Similar people. We are one.